It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
This episode is brought to you by Spotify Green Room. Have you ever listened to a podcast like this one and you wanted to bring up your own point or just chat with other people that are listening at the same time? Well, let me tell you about Spotify Green Room. This is the first social audio platform made just for sports fans. The app is free to download, and once you're in, you can talk with us, other fans, athletes, insiders in real time about your favorite sport or team. Download the app, currently available on iOS devices. Create a profile, link your Twitter, join one of the groups for the latest league updates, and then you'll see us there. Spotify Green Room, changing the way we talk sports.
You are Locked On Tigers, your daily Detroit Tigers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Locked On Tigers. I am, of course, your host, Scott Bentley. Today's Friday, July 23rd, 2021. This episode is brought to you by Spotify Green Room. Download Spotify Green Room app and find out where you can listen to one of our locker rooms. All right, we are back in a big way. The Detroit Tigers may never lose a baseball game ever again. It's quite remarkable what's happening down at Comerica Park. That is 7, count them, 7 straight victories for your Detroit Tigers, which is the longest active win streak in all of baseball. Oddly enough, the second longest, does anyone know, any of you know who has the second longest win streak in baseball? It is, oddly enough, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are having a historically horrible season, specifically with their road record, and yet they've won 4 in a row. Pretty remarkable. But the Detroit Tigers are more remarkable. Now 8.5 games out of that wild card spot, along with 12 out of the division lead. Both of those pretty hefty numbers. Both of those probably too late to recover from. Do I care? Not really. This is some of the most fun we've had watching Tigers baseball in half a decade, and I'm just happy to be here. You know. Just happy to see it. It's so much fun. Everybody's having fun. The city's having fun. The Tigers are having fun. The city's just different when the sports teams are winning, man. They really are. And the Tigers haven't been a winning team for a long time. It's super, super fun. It also puts us just 4 games under 500 now with a 47-51 record. Well, the team ahead of us in the American League is the Los Angeles Angels. At 47-48, we are a game and a half back from them and 3 games back from the Cleveland baseball team. So, there you go. There's your standings update, because apparently we kind of have to do that now, because we've been messing around and winning some baseball games, eh? Incredible. I love it. I love this team. I love this team so much. Oh, I love it. I'm sorry. I'm just soaking it in. Let's talk about this game, though. Detroit Tigers win another one, completing the 4-game series sweep of the Texas Rangers in front of the home crowd. We're now well over 500 in Comerica Park this year, too, which is also fun. Protect a little home field advantage there. That's always fun. So today was a bullpen day. Tyler Alexander gets the start. Kyle Funkhauser gets the win, if I remember correctly. 5 pitchers: Tyler Alexander, Ramirez, Farmer, Funkhauser, Soto. Yeah, so 5 pitchers. We win this one 5-7. So pretty exciting game, pretty back and forth exciting game. I was in attendance for this game as well. It was a fun one to attend. Nice little day game. I'm nice and sunburnt all over me, so that's always fun. Because I'm not very smart and did not wear any lick of sunscreen or anything like that. So, not my brightest move, but also not my first, second, third, or fourth time doing it. So it's okay. Akil Baddoo leading off, goes 0 for Jonathan Scope with a nice rip. Robbie Grossman, man. Robbie Grossman's a dog. Robbie Grossman with 2 walks and a rip. Gets on base 3 times. Fantastic game. Eric Haas with a nuke job. An absolute nuke by Haas. That's his 15th homer of the year. This dude's got an 826 OPS with a 289 on base percentage. You know how good of a slugging percentage you have to have almost an 830 OPS with a 289 on base percentage? You got to be getting the piss out of the baseball. Very, very impressive. Shows signs of unsustainability, but we won't talk about that. I really don't care. Truly, I don't. Usually I would care. I don't. Just keep winning, baby. Just keep winning. I love me some Eric Haas. Jeimer Candelario with a nice rip. Also legs it out, extends it for a double. We keep talking about his slugging percentage. He's at 398 now. He is slowly but surely getting to that 400 mark. His OPS is now 752. Willie Castro with a triple. He's back, and I guess that's a cool thing. Zach Short with also another home run, and then the one that blew up my phone, because anytime he does anything, 80 million people like to at me on Twitter and DM me about it. Victor Reyes goes yard with a home run in and I believe was technically his only at bat. Am I tripping? I don't know. Whatever. Too scatterbrained to think about that too hard. But Victor Reyes with a homer, 7 runs for your Detroit Tigers. Pretty solid offensive performance. This Rangers team, I've said it a million times this week, is terrible. Fulty's not good anymore. Not that he ever reached some crazy high peak or anything, but I'm pretty sure he's given up more homers than like anyone in the American League, maybe even anyone in baseball. So, like, again, we came in and did what we were supposed to do, which it should not be overlooked and should not be taken for granted, because for the last 4 years, you could argue, there haven't been any opponents in the league where that was a thing, especially since especially in the end of 2018 and 2019. I mean, there was a very long stretch there where there was no team that we went into and we were supposed to win. So I don't want to downplay that. I don't want to downplay the magnitude of being able to say, hey, we're supposed to win this series, and then do it. Because that's awesome. And it's been a very long time since we've been able to do that. So, good on the offense, good on the pitching, good on everyone. Solid game. The pitching, like I said, bullpen day, Tyler Alexander was, I guess, fine. 3 2/3, gave up a run, 4 strikeouts. Ramirez is not good. I'll go on record. I would rather Alex Lang had his spot. He's not good. I don't really understand. It's not like he has some high ceiling. Alex Lang easily has a higher ceiling than he does. Even if neither of them are that good, if he's going to be just like the first dude out of the pen in a bullpen day, even, like, I don't care. I don't know. That's just like a small thing. I really like Alex Lang, and I think he has really good stuff, and if he just works on the command a little bit, it's over. Which you could say about, hundreds of people probably, but I'm just... Ramirez provides nothing for me. He is not good and doesn't have a high ceiling. I don't really know why he's here. So that's just a small thing, I guess I'll go on record and say. I would prefer Alex Lang, but regardless, he pitched today 1 2/3 and gave up 3 runs. Cool. Buck Farmer comes in, pitches 2/3 of an inning, clean. Then Kyle Funkhauser comes in. Kyle Funkhauser, we keep bringing it up, quietly becoming one of the best relievers on this team somehow. It's awesome to see. He's pitching with a lot of confidence. He did give up 1 run, but he was stretched across 2 innings. So the ERA not too negatively affected because he got that extra inning of work in there. But really, really solid performance by Funk. And then Soto shuts the door in the 9th for his 11th save of the year with a clean. No, not clean. He walked a guy, I think. Relatively clean in the score board in the scorers column. 9th inning, and he looks great too. There was just like one batter that he kind of struggled with. That was the walk as you could imagine. Everybody else he was pretty on point with. The slider has really been working lately for him, and I love that. Oh, I love Gregory Soto so much. Love that man. All right, so there you have it. Your Detroit Tigers. 4 games under 500, 7-game winning streak. They just can't stop losing. Not losing. They just can't stop winning. I had a very, very long week, as those who follow me are aware. A fun one. One I would never trade for anything, but I am incredibly tired. So if I scramble words or something, I apologize. All right, let's get into some more Tigers talk and also our Prospect Friday, because that's what we do on Fridays here. But first, I got to talk to everybody about Built Bar. I could probably use a Built Bar right now, to be honest with you. That's probably something that I should have done before I started recording, because Built Bars are so good for you and so good tasting. They're the perfect protein bar. Right when you're feeling like you're out of it, you're like, oh, that 2 o'clock feeling, you're just tired. You need a quick little boost of energy and a nice little slap in the face of protein. Built Bar has you covered. Comes in 9 delicious flavors: coconut, cherry, raspberry, mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, strawberry, orange, cookies and cream, German chocolate. My favorite flavor currently is the cookies and cream. It's sensational. Phenomenal, some might even say. And if you haven't tried it, or you don't know what flavors you'd like, you can get the mixed box, 2 of each flavors. I tell you guys that I'm a big mixed box fan, because it comes in and you just have free reign. You kind of be a little nitpicky, be a little high maintenance, treat yourself. So get the mixed box, get whatever. Then next time you'll know what flavor you want to order. So good tasting, so good for you. 17 to 18 grams of protein, calories ranging from 130 to 180, only 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. Amazing flavors, all tasty, all healthy. So order today. Get that orange, get that strawberry, get that salted caramel, whatever you'd like. Get that mixed box even. Built Bar is also the official protein bar of the U.S. track and field team. How is, that's got to be like the greatest sales pitch ever. Like you can literally eat what an Olympian's eating. That's how healthy and good tasting and good they are for you, all wrapped into one. Olympians are literally eating this. So please get on the wave, get on the wave, get on the wave. Go to built.com, use promo code LOCK15. You'll get 15% off your order. That's promo code LOCK15 for 50% off at built.com.
This episode is brought to you by HP Instant Ink. No one is reading your mind, but HP Instant Ink knows when your printer is running low and sends you new cartridges, so you never have to think about ink. Save up to 50%. You'll pay less than $5 a month for ink and never run out again. Find out if your printer is eligible and enroll today at hpinstantink.com. Conditions apply. For details, visit hp.com/instantink Spotify.
All right, everybody. Welcome back here to Locked On Tigers. I am, of course, your host, Scott Bentley. Today's Friday. You can follow this show on Twitter at Locked On Tigers. You can follow me on Twitter at Bentley Scotty. Let's get into a little bit of trade deadline discussion, and then we will get into prospect review. So I am slowly, every day, I think more and more that we're not going to trade anyone at the deadline. Had a conversation with someone earlier today about Matt Boyd. I still think it makes way too much sense to move Matt Boyd. I don't think it really makes too much sense to hold on to him. However, we are now in a position where if we were to trade Matt Boyd, we need innings down the stretch, man. Like, whether you expect to win games and keep this win streak alive or just like play baseball. We need innings. And we're not really getting that from too many people right now. And this bullpen is going to be absolutely obliterated by August 30th if we don't get some innings injected in here. So as much as I think it makes so much sense to move Boyd, And I really don't see any purpose in keeping him as far as like the outlook of the future goes and like future plans Matt Boyd has with the Tigers. I don't think there are many. But he's got a year and a half of control left, and I'm really not sure they want to go through the entire second half of the season or last, 60 games of the season, 65 games of the season without, with just having 3 bullpen games a week. And then the other 2 people on inning limits. You have to find innings somewhere, and I'm not really sure where they're going to get them. I don't know. That's just a thought that I had today. Somebody asked me about someone on Locked On, actually. They're doing a piece on possible trade targets at the deadline, kind of going around from show to show and asking all the hosts their opinion on the people on their team that are most likely to get moved, and Boyd was the Tigers for them. And I had to explain, they probably should. They definitely should, to be honest. They should have in 2019. We're 2 years late to this party as is. We can't make the same mistake twice. You got to move them. But I'm kind of scared that we're not. And I'm kind of scared that the justification for not will kind of make sense. Is that weird to say? After the deadline when one of the beat writers is like, oh, well, somebody's got to pitch innings. We can't just do bullpen days every day. We're going to blow everybody out. Well, that kind of makes sense. And I don't like that it makes sense because we really should trade him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling at this point. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Matt Boyd. The other people, Jonathan Scope is obviously very controversial. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on what to do with Jonathan Scope. I'm still kind of in a... I wouldn't be mad if he got extended, but I am not totally sold on, I don't know. I've said my piece a plethora about Jonathan Scope. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole again, but that's another person to keep an eye on for. And then the other one I would say is Robbie Grossman, just because that's a year and a half of a dude that is hitting the most home runs he's ever hit and is in the top 5 in all of baseball and drawing walks. That could get you a lot of value because there's a year and a half left on that deal. It'll be kind of interesting to keep an eye on him too. And we have all that topped off with the fact that Al Avila said that we're not rebuilding anymore. So I don't, nobody knows what that means. It could just be smoke and mirrors or GM talk or whatever. But it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a really interesting next week here, next week and a half there is till the trade deadline. Nelson Cruz traded out of the AL Central. He is officially a Tampa Bay Ray. It was also brought to my attention after I was celebrating him leaving the AL Central that we actually have more games remaining against the Rays than we do the Twins, which is honestly hysterical. That is the most fitting thing I've ever heard. We just can't escape this man. He is the boogeyman. He really is. So, yeah. So the trades are starting to get kicked off, and we'll see. We'll see what the Cats do, man. It's going to be a heck of a week and a half we got left here. All right, let's get into Prospect Friday. We're going to start off with Spencer Torkelson. Okay, Spencer Torkelson homered again last night when you're listening to this. Yeah, last night. So his stats on the season in Double-A he's played 29 games there, so almost the same amount of games he played in West Michigan. He played 31 in high Single-A. So he's got 29 games played, 227 average, 345 on base percentage, 515 slugging for an 860 OPS. Solid numbers. I'm not going to come on here and say they're not solid. The West Michigan numbers are comfortably better. I mean, obviously, he had an over 1,000 OPS there. So I really don't expect him to get called up to AAA this year, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't see him being, if especially if he hangs around here, which a 30-game sample size is a lot more accurate than looking at him a week into the season or whatever. So I would say that he's batting .227. The home runs is certainly not the issue. 8 homers, actually 9 after last night. 9 homers in 29 games. So his OPS will probably go up a little bit as well because I don't think the stat I just read is including his OPS or including the homer into that OPS. So it's probably a little bit higher too. I think these are really solid and really encouraging, and we should all be very happy with them. I just don't think he's going to play higher than AA this year. I think he's probably an Erie for the rest of the season, which I am totally fine with. And I think by the end of next season, we could very well see him in Detroit, which is super exciting. So that's your Torkelson update. Still hitting bombs. Could hit for contact, I guess, a little bit better. Could maybe strike out a hair less, but that one's pretty nitpicky. 24 Ks in 29 games isn't horrible. Walk more. That would be the biggest one, I guess. And honestly, like he's walking at a fine rate, I guess. It's more of just you either have to walk even more or hit for a better average. One of those two you got to do. Which one? To be honest with you, I don't really care. As long as you do one of them, I don't really give a damn. I love walks, so I don't need you to. I really don't need you to raise the average 50 points if you just want to walk, 2 more times a week. I'm fine with that. All right, so that'll be it for Torque. We'll get into everybody else here on the other side of the break, but first I got to talk to y'all about betonline.ag. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all of your sports action. Baseball season's in full swing. You can now track all the action at BetOnline. Get the latest news, odds, and info for all your sporting needs, including MLB, NBA, NHL, and all your UFC and MMA actions. Before the next pitch, head over to BetOnline on your laptop or mobile device. Check out all the great sporting news, sign-up bonuses, and contest information. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore, as this is your chance to get into the game. So head to the website or use your mobile device, sign up today, and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit using promo code LOCKDOWN. It's promo code LOCKDOWN for a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. All right, everybody. Let's wrap her up here, eh? Let's get into the last of Prospects Friday. Okay. So we'll do the other usuals, and then we only have one non-usual today, but it's a pretty sizable conversation, so I want to save him for the end. You get it, yeah. Okay, I want to save him for second to last. Let's just get Brian Packard out of the way, because I know people still like to give me a hard time because he's not hitting very well this year. 222 average, 310 on base percentage, 369 slugging, 678 OPS. Not ideal. Certainly not ideal. Did not have a great week this week either. You battled injury stuff early on, like I said last week. The OBP, compared to the average, I don't mind, right? I like on-base percentage being 90 points higher than the batting average. It's just the batting average is only 220. So the 310 on-base percentage is not very good. But I don't mind the rate that he's walking at. It's just like pretty much, I mean, the power is really the one of the biggest things. A 369 slugging percentage is certainly not ideal. That's pretty darn low. So needs to hit for a lot more extra base hits. Just needs to hit a lot more in general, really. Because with his walk rate, like I said, I'm fine with the OBP being 90 points higher than the average. He just, needs a better average. And needs more power. That's really all it comes down to. So we're going to keep an eye on him. Hopefully he'll continue to take a step in the right direction. I think next year will be big for him. He can come in fully healthy and all that, and I think also trying to find a position for him is got him on a man. So we'll see. It's just if you expect me to like give up on him because of this season, like you're ridiculous. Like I said, and I've said it every week, he has raked everywhere he's ever played, and this is not. I don't believe that this is an indication of like, oh, Brian Packard's not a good hitter. No, you're ridiculous and wrong, and he's going to prove it to you as he keeps growing. So still my boy. Still love me some Brian Packard. Eh? Okay, Dylan Dingler. Nice little step forward this week. He was really struggling there last week. Really struggling. Had a couple of nice games. Still not, nothing fantastic, but had a couple of nice games this week. 204 average, 266 on base percentage, 337 slugging. Those are not good numbers whatsoever. That's a 603 OPS. Certainly not what anybody wants to see him at. And like I said last week, there's a number of factors that could be at play here. Just catching at the professional level this long into the season, something he's probably never done before. And also, the difference between high single A and double A is pretty sizable. It's one of the bigger jumps you'll take in the road to, triple A to the majors is the biggest for obviously. So I guess I would say from like from the lower levels of the minors, like the rookie leagues and such, from there to, and like the portals and stuff and all that, from there to low single A, I'd say is probably one of the biggest ones. Then high single A to double A is a really big one. I would say those are probably the two biggest. So just several factors at play. He had a nice game this week, a couple nice games this week. I'm not really worried about him at all. I think this is just part of A, being a catcher, and B, just growing into himself as a player. I really don't think that this is a bad thing at all. And I still have full faith that he'll be fine. So Dylan Dingler, nothing to worry about. Don't worry. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry. You can tell I'm tired. Okay, Riley Green. This one, so Riley Green, 270 batting average, 352 OBP, 460 slugging for an 812 OPS. I love this man more than anyone. I think he has the highest ceiling in the entire organization, higher than any of the big three pitchers and higher than Torque. I really do. I think he has MVP caliber ceiling. I'm going to be completely honest. An 812 OPS in 62 games in Double A is not overly blowing me away. Not that it's bad. I'm not disappointed. I'm not like, oh my gosh, this dude's a bust. I still hold all my sentiment and all my opinions on him. I just, it'd be nice to see a little bit more. And he's still only 20. He still has plenty of time to grow. And this is not a slam piece, and all these people are going to come at me now because I said it and be like, oh, you're an idiot, blah, 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 and you're giving up on him, whatever. I am just stating that, in my opinion, objectively, I guess that doesn't really make sense, right? If it's my opinion, it's subjectively. I really just said in my opinion objectively. That's kind of hilarious. So I cracked myself up. I'm sorry. I think there's a lot of room for improvement at the plate. That's all. I think that you could see more walks. 352 OBP with a 270 average is not bad, but it could be higher. And a 460 slugging, certainly not bad. He has 10 homers in 62 games, but that could be higher. He has more homers than he has doubles, right? And that, that's one thing if you're hitting, 60 homers, but we're talking about 10, which in 60 games, again, none of this is bad. I'm just saying an 812 OPS is not blowing me out of the water, oh my gosh, I will say this week he has looked really, really good defensively. So I'm again trying all my best here to explain to you that this is not me slandering his future outlook or how good I think he's going to be. All I'm saying is in the current state of him? Does that make sense? In his current state, I would just like to see a little bit more. I think there's a little bit more room for improvement. Okay, I'll put it that way. This isn't a guy that's like on the cusp of going to AAA, in my opinion. That's all I'm trying to say. There's still a lot of room for improvement here at the AA level, and I think I don't know. I think he might just be in AA all year. Nothing wrong with that at all. He's only 20. He's got plenty of time, but yeah, I think that I think there's still some room for improvement there. All right, let's end on. Let's just do it. Let's end on Roberto Carlos Campos, the highly talked about. What's it called? Oh my gosh, my brain is literally eggs. I'm so sorry. What's it called, dude? What is happening to me? What is going on right now? International free agent prospect. That's what I'm thinking. Thank you. We signed him from the international pool a couple years ago now, and he was kind of like this joke in the Tigers community of like, oh my gosh, like he doesn't actually even exist. He's just someone that Avila's been hyping up for 2 years now, but no one's actually ever seen him or seen him take an at-bat or anything, and he was only 16 years old when we signed him. And so he does exist, and he's finally playing like professional, like we keep stats at this level baseball, which is awesome. He's playing in the rookie league. He's playing right field, and he's not hitting very well whatsoever. And a lot of people have asked me to talk about him. So I don't have, I'm not gonna. There's minuscule tape on him, so I don't have the ability to go, full in depth of why he's struggling and the mechanics of him or whatnot. But we could definitely talk about him. I can give kind of my opinion on where I see him going forward. He's not hitting well in 13 games down in the rookie league of the FCL. So this is below any of the A's, right? This is the very, very low level of the minor leagues. He's 18 years old, so that's why. In 13 games, he has 18 strikeouts, only 2 walks. He has a 208 average, a 240 on base percentage, a 417 slugging, which leaves him at a 657 OPS. Well, the noticeable thing is that the slugging percentage is actually not bad for how horrible he's hitting, right? So he's hitting 208 and barely walking and striking out quite frequently. But when he does hit the ball, he has 3 homers in 13 games and a double. So he has 4 extra base hits in 13 games, 4 extra base hits in 10 total hits, actually. So there you go. Not bad at all. The slugging percentage at 417 is definitely not the problem. The problem is the strikeout rate is pretty darn high. And yeah, the on-base percentage is the biggest one, right? He has a 240 on-base percentage. That's not good at all. So the thing with Roberto Campos here is the hype around him is like on some list, he's a top 10 prospect in this organization. The thing with all of these guys, all these dudes that come over and get signed when they're 16 and then get put into the portal and the international portal and the GCL and all that, and they come over and like 70% of them you never hear from again. They come through, they flame out, they go and have lives. Campos was supposed to be not that, right? Supposed to be the one of the headliners, one of the, oh my gosh, El Avila actually does sign people international free agency, right? And it's 13 games. So we all need to collectively take a deep breath. It's 13 games, okay? He's 18 years old, and it's 13 games. The swing does look good. There's a lot of power in there. He just, I think he needs to mature a little bit, that's all. And he will have plenty of time to do that. If you expect me to come on here and write a dude off 13 games into his professional career at 18 years old, you don't know me and you came to the wrong place, because that is not going to happen. like I said, slugging percentage is good. He's making good contact. Just needs to, actually make contact more. So keep an eye on him. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. We're having fun. Prospects are fun, man. It's fun to keep tabs on them and keep an eye on them and such. It'll be interesting. It'll be really, really interesting to see kind of where he goes from here. I think that he is. I mean, like he's raw. Okay, we'll end on this because I feel like I'm just stumbling and I can tell that I'm rambling and my brain is pretty much shut off at this point. So I really apologize if this is like horrible quality and you're just like, I'm turning this off. I really am sorry. I'm I try my best for all these. I think that he is the ceiling is there. He's just super raw. He's super raw. He has all the intangibles. He's a big kid, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's athletic. He's fast along with that. Like, the raw talent is there. It's just, that's what it is. It's raw. He has a very high ceiling. He just also has an incredibly low floor, which is something I feel like I've said a million times in the last 2 weeks because of the draft and Jackson Jobe and all that. But he applies to that. And even more so applies to that because he's literally 18 years old. Nobody knows what you're going to be when you're 18, man. So keep an eye on him. But there's a lot of people that are like, oh my gosh, he sucks. I'm like, dude, you're tweeting this 6 games into his career. Like, you got to calm down a little bit. Some people, man, unbelievable. All right, that's your update. I am going to take the weekend, recover, and then come back hopefully a lot more awake and energized next week because I feel like I was very, I don't know. Ever since the draft, I feel like you've just gotten like an exhausted version of me, and I don't want that to be the new product I'm putting out there. So I apologize, but thanks for staying with me. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all the people that this week when I was at the game, all the games, reached out and whatever, introduced themselves, got pictures and stuff. It was awesome. I love meeting you guys. I love interacting with you guys. So yeah, I'll be back Monday. Peace and love. Going to therapy's dope, and I will catch you all. Have a great weekend, and NHL draft tonight, baby. See who the Wings take at 1-6. All right, see you all Monday. Go Tigers, baby.
This episode is brought to you by Spotify Green Room. Have you ever listened to a podcast like this one and you wanted to bring up your own point or just chat with other people that are listening at the same time? Well, let me tell you about Spotify Green Room. This is the first social audio platform made just for sports fans. The app is free to download, and once you're in, you can talk with us, other fans, athletes, insiders in real time about your favorite sport or team. Download the app, currently available on iOS devices. Create a profile, link your Twitter, join one of the groups for the latest league updates, and then you'll see us there. Spotify Green Room, changing the way we talk sports.